All right, we're back. Probably the last episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast for the year. Don't get
Maybe.
too excited. Maybe. Who knows? We love talking about Real Salt Lake, so if something pops up, we know we're in the holiday season. Christmas is around the corner, and I'll probably get started shopping here pretty quick for Christmas.
Pretty soon.
Pretty
You got a
soon,
week.
yeah.
Better get on it.
Well,
Is the store still open this week?
Yeah, Christmas Eve, he's still shopping.
I do. I go shopping Christmas Eve every year, just kind of as a tradition. I love wandering around watching other people panic, I guess, because I'm just looking for my wife and I are at different ends of the spectrum. She's always fine with what we have, and I never think we have enough. So, that's deep-seated personal trauma that I don't want to get into at this
Thanks
time.
for discussing it on the podcast. We appreciate you sharing deep-seated emotions.
Yes, all about my PTSD. But we wanted to wish everyone a happy holiday season, however you celebrate. Hanukkah, Festivus, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Ramadan. Is there more?
Tet.
Yeah, whatever ones you celebrate. We hope you have a great holiday season and a happy new year. But we wanted to kind of close out our thoughts on the 2023 RSL season. But before we do that, there was some breaking news.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know if we don't have the breaking news stinger there, but MLS came out with some rule changes.
Whoa! For this year or next year? Just kidding.
For 2024.
Yes.
Actually, there's some rules from December 23rd till January 2nd, and then they have some new rules, but we'll wait for those. Now, for the 2024 season, if an injured player remains on the ground for 15 plus seconds, they will have to remain off the field for 2 minutes. That is something I like. Hopefully that will keep the fake hamstrings. I mean, how many times can you pull a hamstring in a game? Or
Seriously.
other...
I need to stretch my calf. Only for 14 seconds, though. Oh, now I'm good. Good. No, I didn't know.
Then
are they going to be counting it down? Is this like when you get knocked down in the ring? Are they going to be like 9, 8? I mean, how are they going to know?
Maybe there's another official that's going to run on the field with a counter or a board.
And does it count when the ball goes out or when the player goes down? All these questions. So many questions.
You got to admit, though, that's a brilliant idea.
I like
think
the
a lot
idea.
of people are asking for that. Just get rid of all the flopping. I mean, you're not going to get rid of the flopping, but get
The fake hurt.
rid of the chilling on the field. So that's going to be super impressive. And that's just only MLS, though. It's not like everywhere else.
No, just MLS. Yeah.
Well, that's dumb.
Yeah.
Next rule. Substitutes must exit the field within 10 seconds. This one they will enforce this for the first 3 games. Then after that,
depends on what Lionel Messi does. If Messi's taking his time, they're like, this is from when we initiate the 10 seconds.
It's like, remember when they went to the 10-second drop kick rule for goalies? They had to do it in 10 seconds. People still do that nowadays. The goalie has the ball, and they're like, 10, 9, or they count up, I think it's funny. Just another way for fans to get them.
18, 19. Or it could be like, when you're playing with your kids, you're trying to get them to do something. You say, all right, I'll count. See how fast you can do it.
Yeah. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
And then they run off for 10 minutes, and they come back. 7, 8.
You did it! New record! Way to go! Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, the next rule. Referees will make in-stadium announcements for VAR decisions.
Hallelujah! It's come to pass. Yeah. I mean, I think this is the biggest one for me, and this is for people in stadium. There's 2 things they hate, and both rules got changed this year. One thing is like, what did he just call? He put his hand up. He made some. Are we doing charades? This is ridiculous, man. It's 2023. It'll be 2024. Announce it in stadium. I love it. I'm so excited about that one.
Yeah, first foul, 2 syllables. And I do like that one. And then the next one, stadium clocks run past 90 minutes.
Finally.
Well,
Do you
that's
even know
What's that actually doing though? Like, what's the benefit?
well. Here's the history that I recall. I remember because when we started going to the games, they kept the clock running, and then they would say, "Oh, there's 3 minutes to stop each time," and if the ref stops the clock or if it blows his whistle at 92 minutes and 45 seconds, people were going like, "Oh my gosh, it
You
was 15
cheated us
seconds."
out of 15 seconds. You jerk.
So
Yeah.
that's after a whole bunch of complaints about that. They went to the stopping it at the 90 because the official time is on the field anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we've just kind of like behaved ourselves long enough that they will see how.
Brent's
But-
been such a
Grown
good
up.
little boy. Good job, Brent.
We've finally grown up and we can handle going to the bathroom by ourselves.
But they are doing this though in the Premier League in the EFL in England.
Oh, that's good.
The clock doesn't stop, and I think they started that earlier this year or last season.
Yeah, I like that too. I also like the fact that, like, I get when the ref calls it right at 93, but I hate it when it's in the attacking phase of play. You know what I mean? Like, let that last bit of drama. Like, you got to think of soccer as entertainment sometimes, right? I know when it's your
Yeah.
team, you just want them to blow the whistle. But as a neutral or as the other team's fans, like, we want it to play on. We want the dramatic last second win or dramatic last second miss even. We want that as fans, right? So to me, I love that rule. I like that they're kind of held accountable in stadium to what the clock says. Like if you're calling it at 93 and a half minutes and they said 4 minutes of stoppage time, we're going to give you crap about it. We're going to go to your fake Twitter account and fake make fun of you on fake Twitter, you know?
Yeah. So I don't mind that. Oh, I was going to say something else, and I lost my train of thought. My apologies. Getting old. But I do think that'll be good. Well, I know what I was going to say. Tyler was talking about different sports. It's kind of like American football. That the play doesn't end, or it could be the same with rugby, right? The play doesn't end right when the buzzer goes off like basketball. That last play, if you get the snap off before the play
Right.
hits zero,
Yeah.
the play's it's not going to go on for another 10 minutes, but the play
No.
goes on after the clock stops. So I get
Yeah,
where you're
lateral
coming
it
from
a
with
few times and, you know, yeah, lob it down the field all crazy like and have the goalie go for it. Try to head it in.
that.
Anyway,
Watch out for
I think it's
the
exciting.
band.
Right. Don't let the band on the field.
So, any other news? There was one other big news that has soccer fans across the nation up in arms in a kerfuffle, pitchforks and torches. From what I can see, at least that's what it.
I'm waiting.
That's what it
with
was on
bated breath.
Twitter.
Diego Chara is coming to RSL.
That's right. That's right.
Oh
He is
my
coming.
God.
He is coming.
No.
He's going to be an assistant coach for Pablo Mastroeni because we don't have any of those just yet. No, the Major League Soccer will not be sending its first teams to the U.S. Open Cup, which has tons of fans, at least on Twitter. And I wonder what the percentage is of the MLS haters or Euro snobs or just the people that aren't enamored with Major League Soccer. What percentage of those are the ones that are up in arms versus the regular Major League Soccer fans?
You know
I
who?
think it's quite a bit. I think it's quite a bit on both cases, though.
You know who the
Go-
most upset is? All the USL teams. All of them. They're mad because they don't get their one shot at knocking off a big MLS club, right? It's not a true open cup. See, in the Premier League is not a different entity than, I mean, they are different entities than the Championship, right, and Club 2, but they all work together in a pyramid scheme, right? For those of you that don't know, kids at home, look up pyramid schemes, Ponzi schemes, if you will. That's
And be the first in your line. That's important.
yeah,
Don't be coming
yeah.
in
Start a
47th as
downline.
somebody else. Yeah.
No, you got to start at the top and get a downline going, kids.
The
Wait,
Premier
now
League's awesome. Don't
I
trash
feel
it.
like and kids, don't start a Ponzi scheme. It's not good. It's illegal too. Anyway, Mr. Ponzi started schemes back in the day. Anyway, way too much history on Ponzi schemes. The yeah, U.S. soccer and MLS don't always get along. The U.S. Soccer Federation, USSF, doesn't always get along with MLS, and MLS I think was just like, nah, take a flyer this year. We'll send our JV teams, and not even like like Real Salt Lake won't be in it, but the Real Monarchs will, right? But Monarchs weren't in it last year, were they?
No, I don't think MLS next teams played in it. Maybe they did.
Yeah,
I can't remember, and I think that's
I can't
part of the
remember either.
problem. Is this is a tournament that has been around since 1914 and has not captured the. It's not the FA Cup. It's not the other. All the other countries seems to have the French league. The league in France has a cup. I saw one where because France has. It's not only the country of France, but its territories at other places that.
Oh yeah, like the
I mean,
country next to Suriname.
yeah, there's like they can go on a 3,000. There's like a fifth level team in France that went like on a $3,000 trip, 3,000-mile trip to play in their country's cup,
their
which is
Open
exciting.
Cup.
And their
That's
Open
cool.
Cup.
Yeah, great for them.
But for whatever reason, it hasn't caught on, and there is some reading between the lines and not really knowing everything. I can see why people get upset because it's like the FA Cup, but it's not the FA Cup, and people want this to be some magical event, but it just hasn't caught the imagination of soccer fans across the United States. I mean, it's fun. The idea is cool. Everybody loves it when the Colorado hailstorm comes into northern Colorado hailstorm from
You're not getting over
southern
that, man.
Estes
Holy
County comes to Sandy, Utah, and beats Real Salt Lake on their third game ever. That's exciting. That's fun.
That's not exciting. That is so sad. We've had some serious, crazy ML or U.S. Open Cup games though in the past, like the one in Minnesota years ago when Minnesota didn't have an MLS team, and they beat us like 6-5 or something ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And then
mean,
we
there's some
signed one of their
strange
players.
things. Yeah, Jean Alexander came from that. He was a beefy boy, dude.
I like
Played
Gene
defensive
Alexander.
mid.
I liked him.
Jean, dude. It's
Jean.
not Gene.
It's not jeans.
I mean, it's spelled Gene, but I don't know French well enough to honestly distinguish between the two. But whatever.
I know there was some there. Don Garber. They blame him. He doesn't necessarily. He had some negative comments about the U.S. Open Cup. The stadium.
Well, we're not selling out stadiums. That's the problem. Yeah, like people aren't showing up. So, what do? Either
And
you go do like a resort destination thing, like they did with MLS's back, where everybody goes to Orlando and they're all housed in a thing around it, and do some sort of tournament like that for 3 days or whatever. I don't know. That's what youth teams do, right? They go on these little trips and bring back that kind of a 3-day, 3-cup, winner moves on thing. But it's tough with the amount of games that you can play in a short period of time for professionals. So I get it.
I've read other places that Major League Soccer, they were responsible for promoting the tournament from the USF. It wasn't necessarily the USSF that was promoting it. So I think there probably some friction there. Why are we promoting this thing that
sharing revenue with them?
Yeah, I don't think the teams actually got to keep the revenue in their stadium for the games. And then you had the League's Cup come in, and which was, for the first time as a an anomaly or The first go around was relatively successful, and people enjoyed that. So they are going to play
Yeah.
that.
And much more successful than U.S. Open Cup. Because you get that
Yeah.
cross-border rival thing going on, and it's a little more heated.
This could be also a play where Major League Soccer is trying to get some concessions or get some changes. Maybe they let the U.S. Soccer, United States Soccer Federation, know that, hey, this isn't working. We need to make some improvements. They could always spin it that way. But no one was listening, and so they're saying, hey, you know what? If you don't care, we don't care. But it could backfire. There seems to be, there's a lot of squeaky wheels that say that just refuse to support Major League Soccer, and they're just looking for more reasons not to dream that one day United States Soccer will have an amazing pyramid, and it's all promotion and relegation, and no one loses money, and no teams go out of business, and it's all, unicorns and rainbows. Like
Yeah,
it
I
That's
don't.
should
I
never
be.
don't think
happening.
that's the way MLS is thinking, though. I think
Well,
MLS is happy
that's
with
what'll
where they're
happen is
going.
the second we get promotion and relegation, everything will be
Everything
perfect.
turns to gold. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it'll be
U.S. will never
perfect.
allow a promotion relegation, like
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah, agreed.
If they haven't, like, what would make U.S. do that? Because they haven't done it in any other sport. Like,
Right.
what other sport is there that does that?
No, I agree. I don't know that it's
College
coming.
basketball.
College basketball, absolutely. D1, D2, and D3. That's what they did.
And college football, they
I heard that idea floated out there one time. They were saying, okay, take the top 50 schools, then the next 50, and then the next 50. And anyway, you can get promoted. And I was like, whatever. You guys are dumb.
but it was a huge
You guys
kerfuffle, and
are
I was surprised.
It was really insightful, huh? Great insight. You're
ESPN doesn't know
dumb.
what you're talking about.
I was a bit surprised at the amount of vitriol. There were a lot of folks that were really upset that the Major League Soccer isn't supporting the U.S. Open Cup, at least with their
Is it the
main
U.S.
teams.
Open Cup or is it the Open Cup?
It's the U.S. Open Cup, yeah.
U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah. But they're a separate entity, and I think that's why. It's like MLS is like, we don't need you, you need us. And they're like,
What?
no, we don't. They're like, okay, fine, we won't send our first teams.
Yeah.
There's some thoughts that to be the D1, Major League Soccer is recognized as the top tier league, and part of that is playing in the U.S. Open Cup. So there's some of the backroom stuff that's probably going to get figured out, and maybe they change their mind. Maybe they come out and say, hey, any Major League Soccer team that wants to play in the U.S. Open Cup can. You don't have to. You can send your main team, or you can send your next team. But like DC United doesn't even have a MLS next team,
Oh, yeah.
so they are.
Yeah, and then it was strange because then I saw an article that said something about Houston is going to still send the Dynamo to, like, 9 MLS teams are going to enter the Open Cup in the round of 32. But then there was never any data on that. So I thought that was strange, too, to kind of announce that. Like, Houston's going to defend their cup, and then who are they sending? Are they sending their first team? Or you know what I mean? It kind of contradicted that. So I guess we'll see how that plays out this year. I don't think it's that big a deal. I think we spent way too much time on this.
Yep. Let's move
Okay.
on. Come on.
It was
bored over
fun
here.
while it lasted. Any other
Stupid
news?
Open Cup.
Do you want to talk about the draft?
Oh yeah, one more
Draft's
news.
tomorrow.
Breaking news.
Draft is tomorrow. Some big things are happening though. So very first round we get 2 picks, which is super nice. Apparently Vancouver gave us an extra one for a first rounder. So at 16 and 18 we're going to get a good pick. Second round we also have 2 picks. Seems like that's a thing. We're going to get like 6 or 7 guys out of the draft this time.
if they if they use the pick. Sometimes they'll pass. Kind of like the Royals did in the expansion draft. They picked up 2 players. And then I think in the next 3
And they
rounds,
passed.
3 or 4 rounds, they passed because they made a whole bunch of trades before the expansion draft, picked up some players. And I think half the teams they made deals with said they wouldn't take one of their players in the
Yeah.
expansion draft.
Yeah, that was part of the fun they did, huh? But
Yeah.
no such luck in MLS this year. No expansion team, which is great to not have an expansion team
So San Diego's not happening?
25.
next year.
Oh, that's next year. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so a year from now,
next
there
year.
will be an expansion draft.
Yep, and we'll all speculate about who's on the expansion list and why. Do we really want to let them go?
Diego Luna won't be protected. It'll be a big thing. One other thing,
Right?
too, about the MLS draft, I believe they're making a rule change, maybe not this year, but next year, that will allow teams to draft underclassmen.
Oh,
So
like
you,
stash a draft pick?
yeah,
Let
no,
him
well, you
play
could,
another year of college?
yeah, you could pick like a junior and let them play, or a sophomore, and they could stay in school and keep playing, but he's still your player, and they could make the decision later to come out and turn pro. A little bit more flexibility there, which I thought was a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I read that too. I think that's decent. I mean, it's kind of strange because you can kind of get drafted at any age, and in other countries, you kind of get drafted throughout. Like, you get bought and sold as a kid. It's kind of weird, right? Like other countries, we don't really do that here, but that's how other countries fund their grassroots soccer. Is they get kids to come play, and then the kid gets better. They develop them, and then they sell them on, right? And then they just keep developing players. But over here, we develop teams. We try to keep our team good, and we try to make people sacrifice for the team instead of making them look good, which other countries do the opposite. So I don't know. It's an interesting concept, but when the player moves on, the team that developed him gets paid, so then it funds more grassroots soccer, which I think we need more of in the United States. So I don't know. That's my 2 cents. But then you're dealing with underage kids and paying other entities for them, so it gets a little. I can see where some people might think that's a little strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, paying for kids is really weird, man.
Yeah,
It's not very good.
it gets odd real quick. So I get it.
odd, man. I mean, you drive slow around school districts, but that's different. You know
No,
what
I drive slow around the stadium. Remember?
Yeah.
It's like, where's Jason Christ? I know he's in there somewhere.
Where's that man?
Can't see him.
In your
And then
white
s-
van that said free candy for Jason.
Yeah, did you see that? I posted that on social media, and then somebody posted a video of them driving by the stadium, and then they were like laughing about it. And anyway, it was pretty funny, pretty good. And then my wife saw Jason at a coffee shop and posted a picture of it. So it seemed like I was stalking him, but my wife found him. So I don't know how that works.
It's a family affair. Your stalking is a family affair. You do it as a group. That way, you can find more people that way. You
Yeah,
can
speaking
team
of
up.
stockings, the 24 holiday vouchers are out. $25 if you get yours today.
Excellent.
I mean, you don't have
Excellent
to
work.
buy it
What's the
today.
voucher? Oh, just like gift cards?
Yeah, it's like then you can pick a game later to attend that year.
And the
Yeah.
RSL
It's a
team
general
store's been
admission,
having
but
some nice sales during the 12 or 15 days of Christmas. They had
Yeah.
those massive boom boxes, like the one that I have.
Oh my gosh!
It was on sale one day for $280, which was a bargain.
one day.
Definitely
It
go
was
down.
not. I mean,
It's a
if
little
you
late.
like a bright yellow, humongous boombox that just screams, "I'm a lifer for RSL,"
And I'm also
280 is.
from the 80s where I
But
like
the thing
to
is,
carry
it's
a
not like
boombox on my
he's throwing
shoulder.
any parties. Like my dad doesn't throw parties. He doesn't, he doesn't rave. He doesn't DJ. He doesn't do anything that needs that boombox.
Well, that's what.
Like the only thing it's being used for is my son to play with the mic. So it's
That's-
like, what is the point of having it? You know what I mean?
to
I mean, I buy a
have it.
racket for $200, but I'm using it every day.
You're
You
hitting
know,
balls with it, yeah.
I'm literally like, I need it for my job. You have zero connection to that boombox,
I love it.
other than it's
I love
enormous.
my boombox.
It does make the room pop, though. The yellow
It
kind
does.
of brings out
Yeah.
the room, you know?
It's good at the stuff can hang over it, you know, like
Yeah.
clothes and all those
All the
things.
Crawley jerseys, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I,
Most expensive
I-
hanger he's ever bought.
I may have carried a boombox all through my sophomore year of high school in the 80s. I may have carried one to school every day. But
Man,
With the
those
with
were
the
the days.
D batteries, right? And yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. You
Yep,
gotta have
good
something to
stuff.
chuck
D
after the game.
batteries, flock of seagull hair. I mean,
I
just
didn't go that far.
cruising through the streets, you know. I run from. No, I'm just kidding.
I was
And
not a
did you
flock of
see?
seagulls. I was a new wave, but not flock of seagull. That's just
Yeah,
way
you
too
were new
easy. That was too obvious.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like being a Tiffany fan.
60 kids, you know what I'm right? I mean, seriously, 60
Yeah.
kids. There's something.
no, I missed that. I was a little too young for that. But did you see our Colombians go take on Mexico?
I did not.
Yeah, Vera played. I think Chicho was in the squad or called to it.
Didn't
don't
Gomez
think he-
score?
Played, but Gomez scored in like the 92nd minute to put it away, and Colombia beat Mexico 3-2.
Oh wow.
Wasn't
Which-
necessarily the A teams, but
No, I mean,
was a
but
nice
it was
friend.
an
Fun friendly.
international friendly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
Gomez popping up late. It was kind of a cool goal. So, yeah, good team goal. Finish it off,
nice.
win the game. They were celebrating like they beat Mexico for real. I mean, like you said, it was kind of their B teams, but they still won.
Still counts.
Good job, kid.
Nice.
Yeah, Vera
Well, let's
and
talk about
Gomez
the year.
both played in the game.
All right. Yeah, we talk about the year. Couple of things. Thoughts on? We had the nice run to U.S. Open Cup, which saw it end tragically in Houston. We did.
On penalties.
Dami saved us in Las Vegas from getting hit by baseballs on that baseball pitch,
Yep.
and
And then Chang saved us in Portland.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Chang saved us big.
and then we ruined everyone's Christmas by not having Lionel Messi come and play in the U.S. Open Cup final because we couldn't beat our arch nemesis for the season, the Houston Dynamo. And
Yeah.
that pesky little Corey Baird. What was I calling him?
Pesky little bear.
Lunchbox or something?
Yeah, I forgot his
can't remember.
lunchbox.
Yeah. His mom dropped him off at the stadium. But anyway, that was disappointing. I mean, you could just feel the energy just come out of the valley after we lost to Houston, and Messi didn't show up here and I thought they may have done us a disservice. The fans did the team a disservice by getting way too hyped at that possibility. Because the more they talked about it, the more it guaranteed it wasn't going to happen.
Too much pressure on our players, you know.
So
Yeah.
and then we had the Leagues Cup, which we did relatively well. We got out of our group. We beat
Tough group,
Seattle.
too.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
beat Seattle 3-0. We did get smoked by Monterrey, and then we beat Lyon after they had to ride a bus or something from Seattle or Vancouver.
Dude, they got the short end of that stick, man. Holy cow.
then,
too funny.
LAFC really did a number on us to kind of pop the air. Wasn't that the game? Was that the game where Pablo Ruiz kind of got injured? Or not kind of, but got injured.
Right.
And it seemed like... So let's get to the season after those. I mean, we did have some good runs in there. Thoughts on the season as a whole? I mean, how would you grade it? We graded the players on a 1 to 10 kind of ratio, we can do it that way, or we can just be as inconsistent and random and just go A to F. How would you grade the team, the season as a whole?
Brennan,
Who
you
wants
go.
to go first?
Okay. Overall, as a whole, I say. Wait, were we doing 1 out of 10?
Well,
Sure.
whatever you do, we'll do.
Your
Okay,
How's that?
scale,
perfect.
your
So
random scale will fit.
my random scale. So
Yeah.
I give him about a 37 out of 55. Um, no, I think I like. I don't want to like compare. I don't want to do just this season. I think it's a huge comparable from last season. Um, I really think we're in the step in the right direction. We're going the right way. Um, but overall, as a season, I would give it like a 7 out of 10. I wasn't. I mean, there was talk to me in the summer. I'm loving this season. Talk to me at the beginning of the season. I hate it. At the end of the season, I think I hate it even more. Um, but to see what we're capable of and see, the results that we were able to get out of, especially when we were on that injury list forever, and also Pablo going out, I think we did okay, but we had so many opportunities to be great and be in a whole different playoff picture, whole different outlook towards the end of the season. So I give it a 7.
What about you,
Brent?
Tyler? Okay, I'll go next if you're gonna. I, I was trying to look up our. We had the losing record at home, which was very surprising, but we had the great run on the road. So we had a winning record on the road. I think we had the second best record in Major League Soccer on the road, and for a long time the best record. It started out like you said. It started out really interesting. I didn't know how Pablo Mastroeni was going to. I didn't think he's going to be the coach at the end of the season when it started. And then we built up, had a brilliant run through the middle of the season, including the U.S. Open Cup and the start of the Leagues Cup. And it looked like, man, our predictions for barely making the playoffs and not being incredibly as excited as last season were going to come true. But it was a really weird season. And I thought after the Leagues Cup and losing Pablo Ruiz, it yanked it down for me from probably a 7 to like a 6.5. I think that the way we ended the season, the rest of it was great. Signings, great signings. Vera, Keeping Ojeda, Gomez, Chicho, Anelli picking up in the draft. And it looked like we added some really good players, really good pieces. The front office is willing, the owners are willing to spend money. But struggling at the end of the season, still, season after season after season, really kind of brought it back down for me. So I'd say 6.5. And if they had won, maybe if they'd finished stronger and taken third or fourth place, which was there for them, even second was available. If they had pulled out their little nosedive after Ruiz was injured. So yeah, I think I'd lean towards. I could probably talk to going a little higher, but I think 6.5 overall, and mostly for the way it kind of nosedived at the end.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with a 6.75 and just split the difference.
I figured that's what you were wanting to do. You're like, I'm gonna just wait and fit right between them.
No, I think it's closer to a 7, honestly. A lot of promise shown, and built from the back forward. I love the additions of Vera, especially, and Ojeda getting that deal signed to get him here permanently. Bringing in Gomez, who's a young, exciting kid, and then to me, Chicho, biggest signing in history. So I think the ownership group, I'm giving them an 8.5 or 9 because they're trying, right? And they're getting the pieces in place to make this an awesome franchise, and that's what I want. I want us to be a contender every year, going for the titles, right? Like that's what I want, and it looks like that's what our ownership group wants too, which is fantastic. And I'm so excited about that going into next year, getting like you said, Pablo Ruiz back, and Chicho, and everybody else at full strength, and you know what I mean. Like I'm excited to see how this goes. And Pablo now, and like we said, everything is on his shoulders now. This is his way, his team. You know, he's gonna have whatever our general manager's name is. They're gonna come in and do some work too. But like, we got special projects, Jason Christ coming in, like club legends left and right, sticking around. We've got a lot of excitement around the club. Like, this is really cool. This is really cool what we're building here, and I'm excited that we're able to see this happen, and I can't wait for next year. Really can't. And I don't care if Messi comes. I care that,
Oh,
that
what are you
stuff
talking
we're
about? We
doing.
all care that Messi comes. Everybody's
Okay, I do
excited.
care. But if he
Oh,
doesn't come, I'm fine with that. I'll go to Miami and watch a game.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't played Miami yet after 4 seasons.
I
I
know.
I think we'll
How
be I
how's
think
that
we'll be
happen?
lucky to get an away game next year with him. I seriously doubt Messi is coming to Sandy, Utah. But that would be kind of funny. Send him here in, you know, February 27th or something, like we
Yeah.
started.
First game of the season.
Send Messi to Sandy, and he comes out playing in a parka or something.
oh yeah, there's no way.
So,
I love it.
so I think you bring up a good point. On the field, I think I'm still leaning towards 6.5 in there, but off the field, the ownership definitely deserves an 8.5 or a 9. And I think it's interesting too that they're willing to make changes. And I'm guessing that even though they came close, we talked to Trey at the end of the season. They said their goal was to finish fourth and get a home playoff game. That was before the change in the playoff system, and we finished fifth. And I wonder if that was a hard line that they had. They didn't make. They finished fifth instead of fourth, and they felt like they needed to make changes,
Yeah, it could be. Could be.
and they had the courage to do so. So I'm not necessarily against change. I like change for the most part, as long as it doesn't affect me.
Well, and as long as it's not just
I like
change to change, you know what I mean? You don't want to be the team that like Crawley, where you have 5 coaches in 1 year and you
Oh man,
barely fall out of, like only by the luck of the draw do you not get relegated, right? You don't want that,
yeah, one
no.
play, one amazing goal from the jockey. That
right? Then he's not even
that
there anymore.
no, but change is good
Gosh.
because now Crawley has had much better season. They they could be close to the playoff places, but they'll probably finish mid-table and not in any danger of getting relegated, which is a massive improvement from last season. But any other thoughts? Any favorite thoughts from you guys about the season? We had quite a few watch parties at Cattleman's in
Yeah, that was
uh,
pretty fun.
downtown on historic Magna Main Street, and we thank Stephen White, the owner, for allowing us to come down there. And have to apologize, we didn't get enough people to go down there, I guess, because he made a good try, but Cattleman's isn't there anymore.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
it was our fault, but we
No,
tried to get people to come and join us and
I
have
talked
some
to him.
good
He said
times.
he gets more traction from the food truck, so he went food truck and not established location. So guess you're a little more free to move around when you do
Yeah,
that.
he
So
has an amazing burger though. I miss it. That was a great burger.
yeah,
Those were fun. Giving away prizes and have people come and watch the games. Say hi to Kurt, right? We had
yeah.
we had some regulars that were showing up there. That was fun. Any games that stand out to you guys?
Well, to me, there were a couple goals that really stood out. Like Pablo Ruiz's goal was just that from what was it, 60 yards out. It was so
64.
amazing. I think that goal is one of the goals of Real Salt Lake lore. You know what I mean? Like that goal's gonna stick with you for years. You're gonna be like, remember that one? Remember that one when Reese chipped the keeper from? Oh, dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was
Cool
95
moment.
yards out.
Yeah,
it was
it keeps getting further
125
back.
yards out.
It was a corner kick for the other team, and he still
Chuck Norris
scored.
passed the ball to Pablo, and Pablo was just like, "All right, I'm gonna kick this."
And
And
then
Dwayne The Rock Johnson was in the end zone saying like, kick it. I believe in you. And then and then Vin Diesel comes over, family's everything.
they cut to
Puts
David
that ball in
Beckham.
the net.
David Beckham with tears in his eyes. I couldn't do it that good. There's no way I could.
I couldn't bend it like that. Yeah.
How
It
about
was a
you,
pretty good
Brennan?
goal.
What was your favorite moment of the season?
Favorite moment in the season. Ooh, I don't know. I was pretty ecstatic that Jasper got a goal and like a solid goal.
The Hulk
that
flex.
was a
Mhm.
rocket.
I like
That
that
was
celebration. Yeah.
I really like Pablo's set piece goal, like around the wall and in from like the top of the box. I thought that was super. Oh no, wait,
Brian
Very.
Vera.
I remembered. It didn't happen on the field. It happened in the press box, and that was when the raccoon fell.
Oh!
That was probably my favorite ever thing that's ever happened.
Because you were in the press box. What happened?
Legit, because when we first walk in there, there's like water dripping from that spot. And so we're like, this is like dripping. And they're like, okay, we'll get a garbage can and we'll have somebody come up and fix it. And then I don't even know.
Did they try and get the raccoon to fix it? Was that the problem?
No.
They stuck the raccoon in there thinking he would fix the thing.
I thought it was funny too that they're like posting that like, oh, raccoon, like on top of like the scores, and everybody's like, what's the point of the raccoon? Like nobody knew what it was about. But yeah, somebody mentioned it, and then everybody's just chilling, and all of a sudden, boom, right through the ceiling, and everybody's like, "What the heck is that? Really, raccoon?" But yeah,
And you were the last person to get your phone out and start videoing, right?
Oh, I know. I was like, it was like falling midair, and I look over, I see it land, I look over, and they already have their phone out. I'm like, how did you react that fast? But that was a terrible experience for that raccoon, though, man. He was like running around inside, went outside, went over by the railing.
Yeah, that's when because I was downstairs talking to my brother and stuff, and then we look up and see a raccoon, and we're like, "What?" And I look over, and Dunny's there, and a whole bunch of. I mean, because the game wasn't happening, right? It was at a rain delay.
Delayed,
so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was Leon, wasn't it?
They postponed it anyway, right?
Yeah, they ended up not playing that day, which was unheard of before then, right? Like that was kind of cool.
Yeah, we had a few weather delays this season.
And the game after that was probably the best I've seen us play all season. Moose scored on that Brody through ball. Like, I mean, we just took it to Leon, dude. That was some good playing from us. Man, Moose scored within like 2 minutes of right? Like we scored and then we were like, we're up 2-0 out of nowhere. This is awesome. Anyway. We played really well that game.
One of the games that I think I'll remember is when we went into St. Louis and just surprisingly beat the tar out of them. Just beat the crap out of St. Louis away. I was totally stunned when we went in there. Well, they. I had nothing to do with it.
You know,
they heard
we're
me
randomly cheering for them. They appreciate it.
I thought that was quite a bit of fun. And also, getting more involved, on a personal level on a podcast level, getting more involved with Real Salt Lake and being in the press box. And hopefully we plan on doing a whole bunch more of that next year and getting into the post game and asking some, great questions for the fans. I mean, we think we got dipped our toe in there a little bit, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so like next year, if you're listening to the podcast, like hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on Twitter. If you have a question you want to have us ask, we'll ask it for you.
I like that. That's good. We should probably pay more attention to that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
But I'm
send
just so
Brennan to
nervous
all
every
of
time
them.
do I ask him, I'm like, oh no. He's going to think my question's dumb.
Here's a question, not from me, Pablo, from some moron on Instagram. Hey, I didn't ask this. It's some idiot. No, I'm just kidding. We would never do that. We would never do that. No.
Where do you get your jackets? Asking Pablo.
Oh, you get them from the team store?
Oh, really?
Okay, great. Awesome. Okay.
And
have you seen Terminator? Oh. That was awesome.
And we also...
Were you in that movie? Sorry.
How many times did we beat Colorado this year? 4? 5?
All of them.
I think it was at least
I think it was 5 or 6.
4 or 5 times.
Yeah, crazy, huh?
So
was that a record? I think there was a record set with that.
At least for us, because we beat them in the U.S. Open Cup too, didn't we?
Something like that.
And 3 times in the regular season.
Yeah,
so
interesting.
It was quite
also
the drubbing.
The craziest stat for me this year was we set a record for fewest PKs attempted. Penalty kicks taken.
1?
0.
0
during the MLS regular season. Yeah, no penalty kicks.
We did take penalty kicks.
0.
But it wasn't because of a foul. It was because it was tied at the end of regulation or extra time for.
Yeah, those are spot kicks technically. They're not penalty kicks. They're spot kicks technically, because no one caused a penalty. So we're just taking them from the spot.
Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification, Tyler.
Everybody calls them penalty kicks because that's when you take them. But after the game, they're just spot kicks.
And I thought it was interesting. One of the things I remember was obviously because it was late in the season, and my mind is I can still have my little bit of short-term memory, but the penalty kicks against Houston in Sandy, in Salt Lake, were amazing. And then
that was
next
pretty
game
cool.
You go and they were nowhere near amazing. I thought, oh man, we got it. And then all of a sudden it's
we're
just
through.
Yeah,
Put in Moose. It's a good idea. Put in Moose, man. He'll save us. He'll save us all.
Oh,
Diego Luna and Moose, man.
And then that is a classic curse, right? You miss the penalty kick in the playoffs, you're off the team next year. Sorry, it's just how it goes.
Yep. I heard
Miss
him
you,
say,
Moose.
well, what about
Love
Diego?
you, buddy.
He missed it too. But
you know
they
what?
said, Danny.
Yeah, he also scored the goal that kept us in that game. So
that's true.
They said, Danny, worry about yourself, Danny. Don't be talking about other people.
What was your guys' worst part? Like, what was the worst thing from this season? Because I got one.
Okay, that's a great question. Go ahead. Tell us what yours is.
I died.
Oh yeah.
That trade was unfair. And especially the very next
complaint, didn't you?
6-7 games. I wish I was gonna brought it up to the wrong person.
Justin Merrim got traded to Charlotte for not
a thing.
And allocation money, right?
Allocation.
It was supposed to be Shinyashiki, but he never came.
He goes on a tear after that. He's he's getting a goal nearly every game. He's got an assist in every game. He's scoring like last minute winners. It's just unfortunate.
Charlotte made the
was
playoffs.
Kind of a fun team to watch for a while, but they were.
I was disappointed with that.
They were like mini Columbus, but no backline. So
that's very true.
No defense. We'll go forward, but you can get us in the back. Catch us on a counter.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
What were you saying, Brandt?
I really I love Justin Merrim. I was really disappointed. We also almost got in trouble by asking about that trade when we talked to Kurt Schmid. I
Oh
remember
yeah, that was my fault. I probably
no,
shouldn't have asked that question.
no. We need to. Somebody's got to ask those questions.
Well, I think it was like, yeah, we were asking the wrong question. We were asking about Shinyashiki. Why didn't he come? that was yeah, and he was under investigation from the league for some domestic violence or something like that, and so
Yeah, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
that was a hard question to answer properly. Like we just missed Justin, and that I think that part was fair, but
yeah, that was fun. We've had some great interviews, but this season I'm trying to think of what was, because I know there was some things that maybe I think it was the Musovsky stuff. I thought that was
yeah,
poorly timed on everyone's part, not knowing the inner workings of what was going on in their conversations, what he was promised when they brought him in. Obviously, it didn't help either party that kind of was
they're both
involved
out
with
of
that.
jobs now.
They're both free
Elliot
agents
Falls
now.
So's Musovsky. But I actually read an article on MLS, and they said that he was number 6 of the best free agents available. So, maybe he'll catch on somewhere else.
I think Danny Musovsky. I think somebody will pick him up. Who knows how they could have played it right here, but I don't know. Would he have, if he had stuck around, would that have made a big difference? Does RSL finish a little higher in the table? It was frustrating to watch players like Rubio Rubin not get goals, even though he works hard or as hard or harder than anyone on the team. That was a little frustrating. And I guess you could throw in the Chicho injury, but for the most part, I think that was
And the
probably
Pablo Ruiz injury. Yeah.
those are probably the biggest negatives. But as a fan, I'm still upset we don't get to throw confetti. I miss confetti. I think if we should be outraged about anything, that should be it, the confetti, not the U.S. Open Cup. But those are some of the things, yeah. What about you, Tyler? Do you have anything else? Let me ask you a question right as you have to cough up a lung there.
Yeah, no worries. I was just some candy. It's sugar. Gets up your nostrils. Anyway, edit that out, Tyler. Get that part out. It's horrible.
Leave it in, Tyler.
Bad radio.
That's what she said.
Some Tyler snorting something up his nose.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, to me it was the injuries and the so closes. That's why I'm so excited for next year, because consistency and discipline play off in soccer, just like life. That's why I love soccer, because you got to be disciplined, patient, and consistent in order to win soccer games. But you also have to take advantage of your opportunities. You know what I mean? Just like life, right? The more you can take advantage of the opportunities you're given, the more you can be consistent and patient and disciplined and try to get better every single day in life, the more opportunities you'll create for yourself. So I'm excited for next year. I think it's going to be cool to get all these players back and healthy and on the same page. And we'll probably have one or two that fall out of favor and, end up in the Mexican League on some undervalued team in the middle of nowhere. Querétaro will pick up somebody and we'll send somebody to Varn, or we'll send them to Barnley, or I don't know. The Johnny Menendez things happen. Your favorite player who looks like he's gonna just take off and kill it gets loaned out, and then eventually we just say goodbye to him on social media with half a post. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. So
The confidence in Instagram posts. I mean, who's ever running the Instagram, they have some serious confidence, man. They're like, "Hey, thank you for everything. We'll see ya."
Right.
Don't
That's
you
what
think
I'm saying.
we doing the contract? No, we already said thank you on Instagram.
No, we said goodbye.
Yeah, it's over.
No, goodbye. We said bye. We're definitely not negotiating anymore. Yeah. They're like,
Firm
wait,
fist
we're
over
not.
that, Jim.
We were just a coffee shop. No.
No.
Sorry.
Probably like some 17-year-old or something like that running the whole Instagram page. And he's just like,
Right?
yeah, he's gone. Just don't even need to run by me. I already know.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. And the
Awesome.
yellow jerseys, fantastic.
Oh, that's
Apparently,
right.
it'll
Yeah.
be Life Vantage will not be there next year, but the yellow jersey will still stay. So
Yeah.
this
And
will be changed. So
we'll have a new, what do they call them? City kits. They don't call them home and away kits, but we'll have the red jersey will be different next year.
yeah, did you see a few of the mock-ups out there?
Some
RSL
guesses.
kind of looks like Barcelona, right? It's kind of got the claret and
How
cobalt
where do they
stripes.
show that? Where do they show that?
It's all
Just
speculation.
It's
random.
all speculation or the fact that we got to see it and you're trying to spoil it.
No,
No,
we haven't.
and there was a little yellow stripe on the side. But again, it's just speculation.
People do a lot of. There's a lot of people that are really talented that come up with a lot of great kits, and you wonder why Adidas can't come up with that. Just rip
Like
the
the
kit
Utah
off.
State flag they turned into a kit. I still love that one. That was cool.
Oh no, yeah. So yeah, with that'll be the new kits. I did like the yellow kits, the pyrite, the beeswax.
Good stuff.
Mind your own. That's what they should have called it. Mind your own beeswax kit.
Oh,
They missed it there. That was a perfect. So anyway, so it's been a fun season. A lot of little bit of frustrations there. We didn't finish as strong. I think that came with injuries and the late season drama that did not work out the way.
but despite all that, we were still right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part is how do we get over that, take that next step?
Pablo Ruiz comes back, and Chicho's healthy, and we're there. What do you mean? How do we do it?
I don't know.
We're already there.
I don't know.
We're there. That's why I'm excited.
Well, yeah, I'm excited too because they got the draft tomorrow, and like I said, I predicted three starters from the draft will be.
We'll be never signed to the team. Never. We will sign no one from this draft. That's my prediction.
Oh yeah, people are going to be so upset.
No one will ever play a minute of first-team football for Real Salt Lake.
People will be so upset if we do not pick up a decent player with the last two drafts that we've had that have been rather successful. We'll see how that goes.
I bet you that one of those draft picks will be a Brian. I think it'll be.
If we have 4 Bryans, that would be amazing. Plus, then it's 5. I mean,
well, yeah, because we could get a Brion, or Bi, yeah,
or a Byron. We'll count
like
that.
Ion.
Brian.
Yeah. Or
we don't have that spelling.
Brian.
That's
Byron.
the trick. How do you get another Brian spelled differently? Because they're all spelled differently.
That's the tricky part. I don't know.
So,
yeah. Brian.
So anything else? I think we're all got to rush off and finish up Christmas shopping or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
we could talk about, even though RSL isn't playing, we have a few teams that we like to follow. We could go into the quick come on Crawley update. They did not do well over the weekend. Sad. They were at home. They lost to Mansfield. The Stags. It was 1-1 at halftime, and then they lost 3-1. They gave up some goals. But Mansfield was in
Harry
fourth
Potter's
place.
very disappointed. His spirit animal didn't work out well.
Stags. They actually go by the Patronus. I don't know. You'd think it would be.
Oh boy!
They Specto Patronus,
and they hate Muggles. So, but we are having a decent season. We're over 30 points. We got 30 points already, and I don't think we had 30 points until months and months and months into the new year. It seemed like.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Yep. Halfway through the season, Arsenal is back in first place in the Premier League, which is where they belong. I'm actually watching their games, I can't believe the chances they miss. Is that weird? Like, they're in first place in the Premier League, and they still seem like they can't put away a chance. Like, they didn't score their second goal against Brighton until like the 92nd minute, and it was like he mishit the shot, and it hit the keeper's side and went in. You know what I mean? These are not fantastic goals that we're scoring at Arsenal, but they're getting results, and they're moving on in the Champions League, and so it's hard to complain because they're in first, but like, it could be so much better, is what I'm saying. They're not playing their best, so watch out for that.
Kind of like a little bit of doubt in the back of your mind because teams that are lucky, kind of like, well, I won't say.
Yeah, for sure.
It was the season or two when RSL was just so lucky.
They're not amazing.
Scoring goals, and then
like
once those goals dry up
right now. Not
amazing. I know. You're totally. It's almost like you're frozen.
It's kind of scary
now. Like you're stunned so bad that we can't hear a single thing you just said.
Oh no!
How's Man United? How's Man United?
Man United is doing as good as my ex-wife. You know what I mean? She's, changing management left and right. Things aren't performing, so they're trading. I don't know. So it's all stemming from the owners.
Yeah, it all stems from Mason Greenwood.
They did have a surprising result against Liverpool, though, right?
Kid, man. They drew 0-0. I mean, and if you watch the highlight reel, it's Liverpool attacking Man United.
The whole game.
The entire
I did see a tweet.
of the game.
And then Dallo gets a red for complaining.
What a stupid red card.
Dork.
Like,
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
I did.
I did a thing on Twitter after, and the ref is a Newcastle fan. So they have a picture of the ref in a bar, and he's wearing a Newcastle kit. They're like, "See, I told you the game was rigged." But
I saw the best tweet of the internet after that game. I think he won the internet for that day. Somebody tweeted out that Manchester United had a really stunning result or a great result, but they were having a hard time getting home because they couldn't get their bus out of park.
Hey, they got a result. Hard to argue with that, but yeah, I mean,
okay. Well, hopefully everybody loves that tweet because now when they listen to the podcast, you are gonna only be using that as a reference from when we parked the bus.
Oh no! I will find another one equally as eye-rolling. So, well, we appreciate everyone that listens to our random musings. We love Real Salt Lake. We love the game, the sport of football, and we appreciate you listening. We hope that you have a very happy, memorable holiday season and a happy new year, and that you will continue to follow us, listen, tell your friends, subscribe, share, all of that. We cannot thank you enough for doing that. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you.
We're out.